when you two do your picks and your lists and stuff.
I love it when you're just rattled.
Back to the heads wagon here. Here we go. Come on, baby. Oh, my gosh, I've gone cold.
Yeah. You need to regroup. You need to collect yourself.
You know, I love my son, but damn, son, you're embarrassing. You're losing almost every one.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Go.
All right, we've had enough of you. Get out of here.
Coming up.
See you
Thanks,
guys.
Phil. You know, it's always good to have an unbiased view to tell us how we're doing on these. But when there's a guy who actually has reason to side with his son and he's saying, son, you're on the ropes, you're getting punched through. I like it.
You don't know
I
my
like
father.
Phil. I like
He would
Phil
never
better
show
than you.
bias to his son. He would rather you win so he could get on me every day and do what he did. So trust me, he'll be sitting here watching this, or maybe the rerun, depending on when he gets up, you know, in his privileged life right now. But he will be watching this at some point today, and he'll be rooting for you to win this draft. I had a bad week last week. I'll admit that. You won a few of those drafts. I think it was the first time you won a draft in a long time, but you beat me last week.
Not a few. All of them. I'm on a hell of a streak. And, you know, the rigged coin toss has been going against you recently. Let's see if you can pull it off today. This will be a good sign as to whether or not you have any chance of winning the draft.
Tails, 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 tails.
Yep.
Come on, tails.
I have a feeling it's going to be heads today.
I got a feeling you're wrong, okay? I got a feeling you're wrong.
All right, who you got, big boy?
Yeah, this is not easy, you know. I mean, best scrambling quarterbacks, okay? I'm going to go with Russell Wilson as my number one pick, okay? It's just a proven commodity. I've seen Russell Wilson just do it too much over the last few years, just absolutely pull magic, you know, in big situations, fourth quarter, whatever it may be. Russell Wilson's one of the greatest scrambling quarterbacks in the history of football as far as making magic happen, not only when he just tucks the ball down and decides he wants to run. More of the big plays happen when he's dancing around behind the line of scrimmage, makes people miss, you know, spins out the back door like he does sometimes, and then, you know, finds something happening 30, 40 yards down the field, whatever it is. That's where Russell Wilson is absolute dangerous, or at his most dangerous. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Russell Wilson as the number one scrambler in football right now still. Yep.
Now, a scrambler can be a vague term.
I know, it can be very vague, right?
Because scramble implies that you intend to pass and everything falls apart and then you take off and run.
Yes.
Right? That's not designed run quarterback. That's
Right.
scrambling quarterback who can make something out of nothing.
Right.
Do we
Yes.
agree on that?
We do agree on that, 100%. Yes, I think there was other quarterbacks that I could have picked that would have been better running quarterbacks where I said, okay. But the draft was entitled Scrambling, and to me that brings another group of quarterbacks into this conversation. It's not necessarily about their ability to tuck the ball down and just run for yards down the field. It's about scrambling and making plays that way.
Given that definition, I'm
Yes.
going to surprise you here, and I'm going to leave some names on the board, and I don't care. But if we are going to focus on the true scrambler, the guy who is setting up to pass,
Yeah.
and he doesn't have anything, and he sees a lane, and off he goes, I'm going Mitchell Trubisky.
Okay.
Trubisky is as dangerous or more dangerous than, because you don't expect him to do it. He ran circles around the Vikings on that Sunday night game. Remember the one where Kirk Cousins said the reason they flexed this game isn't because of them, it's because of us, and then
Right.
the Bears kicked the crap out of them?
Right.
Trubisky, a sneaky, great scrambling ability. There he is setting up to pass if you're watching on TV, and off he goes, and you are not going to get him until, look at that.
Yes.
Stop and start and go, and he's gone, and he's, look at that, get inside the 5-yard line. Look at it unless you're watching on radio. So Mitchell Trubisky, under that definition, not going to be a popular pick because you have to think about it. And you have to understand the term scrambling. I think Mitchell Trubisky actually even in better selection than Russell Wilson, because I'd say plenty of his runs are designed. Not many of Trubisky's are.
Well, that's not right. You're wrong. We saw plenty of highlights there that weren't designed runs. And Trubisky, hey, Mike, I'm not mad at you at all for that pick. This is one of the best running quarterbacks in football. Another guy that for some reason, because people just want to like bag on him all the time, didn't give him credit for some of the runs he made last year in big situations, which were like, you know, game-changing type runs like we just saw with the New England Patriots game. The only thing I'll argue and push back with you with Mitchell Trubisky to where I think maybe some other scramblers are better than him is he doesn't always scramble to throw. When he does run, it's special, but he doesn't scramble and try to go, okay, I've danced around behind the line of scrimmage for, you know, 3 or 4 people and then make a laser down the field. That's where I'm going to push back just because I want to make sure I win this draft, okay? And I'm going to win this freaking draft today.
But scrambling.
Yeah, you're right. You're not
we just
wrong.
agreed that
You're
you're
not
running.
wrong.
You're not buying time like Ben Roethlisberger. That's not scrambling. Scrambling is
that is
basically
scrambling. The greatest scrambler of all time was Frank Tarkenton. Is really like
Frank
the first.
Tarkenton. No,
Fran Tarkenton.
Fran's brother Frank was a horrible quarterback. Fran was a very good quarterback.
He's known for scrambling, right? And he was scrambling. He wasn't running ever. He just scrambled and ran around to throw the ball. And that's why I go with pick number 2 with another phenomenal scrambler, and Patrick Mahomes. And he never really runs the ball. But I'm going to go with him here because Patrick Mahomes is the ultimate, oh crap, he broke out of the pocket. Who knows what the hell is going to happen? And defensive coordinators and head coaches have 7 heart attacks once he breaks to his right. I mean, we've seen some of the plays he can make. So, yeah, I'm going to go with it because once we're talking about scrambling again. But yeah, okay, Patrick Mahomes might not be my top pick for a guy where I go, oh, he's going to tuck it and run for 15 or 20 yards scrambling that way. But if you want to talk about making people miss behind the line of scrimmage and extending a play and making game-changing throws off of his scrambling to keep people alive, that's where I go. Patrick Mahomes, he's already in the conversation for one of the greats ever. He already is. I mean, we saw things last year and plays outside the pocket where, I mean, hey, we're watching the Chargers game that they had where Phillip Rivers was on the sidelines going, damn, I can't do that. Remember, he was doing that on the sidelines? Like, that's amazing. And then here's the Ravens game.
That's a low bar.
Well,
that's a low bar.
It is a low bar, but still, nonetheless, I don't think he would say that unless he was just like, oh my gosh, this guy's unbelievable, and that's how unbelievable he is. I'm kicking your butt today, Florio. You're going down.
Remember, we did the top 5 Patrick Mahomes throws out in the snow at Arrowhead Stadium, and one of mine was the play against San Francisco, and I invoked Fran Tarkenton in that moment.
He
was rolling left and rolling right and then threw the missile to the end zone to Chris Conley. So, all right.
This is interesting. This is tough. This is a good draft.
Yeah,
I like this.
Yeah. This one, I had an idea, and now I'm going another way with it. You know, if you're going to pick Kyler Murray at number 24 among all quarterbacks based on a projection largely driven by his mobility, I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice on Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, that's why he was the number 1 overall pick in the draft. It wasn't his size.
Right.
And I know he's got a great arm, but the mobility is the thing that is going to give defensive coordinators heartburn all year long. His ability to take off with the ball, whether it is buying time behind the line of scrimmage, scrambling that way, or taking off with the football when there's nothing down the field open and he sees 20, 30 yards of green that he can get to before anyone else can get to him. So I'll go with the first overall pick in the draft. Picked first overall because of those legs in large part, so I'll go Kyler Murray.
I'm not going to be mad at you there, Mike. I mean, come on, this guy is like special. As we talked about when we broke him down in the first hour, I mean, this is the most gifted runner to come in football since Michael Vick, and I cannot believe I'm saying that the year after Lamar Jackson because I was absolutely in love with Lamar Jackson's ability to run the ball coming out of Louisville, but this was a different level because not only is it the speed straight away, but to what you're saying, I mean, we see Barry Sanders, Darren Sproles type of moves with this guy where he can break ankles in space of guys trying to tackle him. So, he was coming up for me. So that's a good job by you picking him there. Okay, this is where I don't know what to do here. What's amazing is you start to break down quarterbacks right now and you start to realize, wow, mobility is kind of important in 2019. So many of them can actually run. And I'm going to go with my third and final pick. Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
I knew it.
You're still a great scrambler.
I almost took him in round 2.
Yeah.
Once you twisted the definition to encompass Patrick Mahomes, I'm thinking, how are you defining it this way and not taking Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
And there you go.
And that's how I put the nail in the coffin, everybody at home. This one's over. When you get Wilson, Mahomes, and Rodgers, it's over. It's an annihilation. He's done. Aaron Rodgers, he is in Fran Tarkentonville or Frank Tarkenton, whoever you want to talk about there.
Or Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah, Fran Tarkenton. I'll get that right eventually today. But will certainly go down as one of the greatest scramblers, extending of plays of all time. I mean, gosh, I feel like so many of his highlights, are just him dancing around, making magic happen. Hey, nobody's open. Let me pump fake here. Okay, let me dance around in the pocket like hot potatoes and, make another unbelievable throw. I mean, that's all we've seen Aaron Rodgers do the last 4 or 5 years. That's been my problem, is we have to rely on him making these magical moments all the time, and there's nothing easy. So Rodgers will go down as one of the all-time, play extenders, pointing around as you're seeing here on TV, makes people miss, and certainly on the move or throwing, untraditional deliveries. Nobody's been better than Aaron Rodgers.
It's funny, you keep mentioning Fran Tarkenton. When I was a kid, I was a huge Fran Tarkenton fan. And if someone mispronounced his name on TV, if someone said Tarkenton, I would get pissed. Like, throw your shoe at the TV. I mean, I would get so mad if someone said Tarkenton.
Was he better than Staubach scrambling? Who do you think?
Yes,
that day?
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he could run circles around anyone. I mean, there's some highlights of him left and right and back and going back 30 yards and finally throwing the ball.
Right.
And
you want to just concede it?
You
just want to say,
Chris won? Because there's a lot that are still out there,
yes,
and I don't know who to pick next. But I think that it's only fair. A guy who got overlooked last year for some reason, even though his team won its division, and he proved to us as a rookie, he's got that very uncanny sense of how to buy time and work his body in relation to the defenders who are going after him. Even though he doesn't have blazing speed, he gets the most out of what he has, and that's Deshaun Watson, the Texans quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised you hadn't picked him sooner, because I'd say he's a better scrambler than Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is a better thrower,
right? But
I think Deshaun Watson is a better scrambler than Patrick Mahomes. So you left him on the board until the very end. I'll gladly take him.
No, it's a good pick. He is. You know what, Mike? I'm not going to argue with you there. He is a better scrambler than Mahomes. I don't know if he's not as good as making the big time throw off of his scrambling as Mahomes, but still phenomenal.
Wait, is the draft best players who make big-time throws off of scrambling, or is it best scramblers? You've just conceded it. You're counting your money, and you're conceding it. So just go ahead and pay it back over.
I'm not conceding.
You just did. Phil is going to call you after this.
He's got great movement. Is he faster than Mahomes? Certainly.
We can play back the tape. He's a better scrambler. Yeah, the draft is who are the best scramblers. You ordered
you're
right.
the code. I'm going to rephrase and say he's a better natural runner. Sorry.
You took your hand off the checker.
So since when did whatever I say get held true all the way through? No, but he is phenomenal, and I'm a huge Deshaun Watson fan. You and I both are. I know that. Just please stop getting hit so hard, Deshaun Watson. That's our only wish for you.
Let's take a break. Before we do, though, Chris's picks: Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. I've got Mitchell Trubisky, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, the best scrambling quarterbacks in the NFL.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.